everybody, and welcome to the channel Crossing Your Spiritual Streams. My name's Tandra, and today we are going to do our 2022 predictions for what you might come across during the year, the kind of things that you might be dealing with, some of the energies that are going to be happening, maybe a little bit of advice if that pops up, or just to give you an idea of the kinds of things you can look forward to for the coming year. We do base this on your astrological sign, and it's for your sun, moon, and or rising sign. So it's a good idea to watch all three of those readings. That way you can get a better idea of what your year might be like. We do this slightly different than other readers in that for each sign, you will have 3 piles to choose from. So hopefully the reading will be a little bit more specific to you, because not all Aries are the same, not all Pisces are the same, and so forth. And so there are liable to be some slight nuances or differences in each pile, and that way you have a better chance of maybe getting a little bit more detailed reading. These are the decks that will be used in the readings. So this is just letting you know the kind of decks we're going to be using. This is the Modern Witch. This is the Gypsy Fortune Telling. This is the Old Style Laramand. This is the Romance Tarot. This is the Wheel of the Year Tarot. This is the Black Moon Astrology Oracle deck. And this is the Witch's Tarot. So those are the tarot cards that we will be using in each of the readings. Okay, so next will be the introduction for each specific video. There will be an introduction to let you look at the piles and let you decide which readings to go to, and then we'll get to the readings for each one. So we look forward to seeing you there. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your yearly 2022 Tarot Pickle Pile reading. And as we promised, there are 3 piles for you to choose from. There's pile 1 with the Virgo symbol. There's pile 2 with Virgo written out. And pile 3 with the Virgo constellation. Okay, so we are going to give you some time to reflect on the piles and decide which one you want to go watch. Remember, it is a good idea to watch the other readings that correspond to your sun, moon, and or rising signs. To watch all of them will help give you a better idea of your year in total. Okay. We are going to give you some time to reflect on these, and when you decide which pile resonates with you the most, it's best to go with your gut instinct on that. You can go to the description, and there will be a link to lead you directly to your specific reading. All right, we'll see you there. Hello, Virgo, pile 1. Those of you that chose the Virgo symbol. And this is your 2022 reading. Remember, this is the general energies that you might face, what you might look out for the year, some things like that. We have a lot we're going to look at. We're going to do the Black Moon Astrology card first. We will be reading out of the booklet for that, because there are just so many things about each card that they have to say, and that could be important for you for the year. So it's a good starting point, it's a good jumping off point. And then we will be looking at our Tarot and Laramand cards to help clarify what is shown with this card. And then we also have your Romance Tarot cards here to look at that, to see any specifics about your romantic life. We also will be looking at our charms. That should help clarify anything else, or maybe give us some extra information. And then we also have our Oracle spheres, so you can be thinking of your yes or no question that you'd like to get an answer to. And then also our angel numbers, in case the angels have any specific messages for you for the year, or you want to have lucky numbers or other things like that. So we will be doing that as well. All right, so let's get started here. Let's see what the Black Moon Oracle card is today. Number 5, Mars, Force. Oh, Mars is a very driving force. It's very fiery and move forward. So let's see. The Mars card suggests there is something you may have to fight for. The red planet, fiery Mars, is named after the god of war and agriculture, the primary military deity among the Romans. All festivals for Mars in ancient Rome were in March, the month that heads in the solar time of Aries, the sign that Mars rules. Named by ancients the bright and the burning one, Mars is considered an inner planet. So that means it is capable of being seen by the human eye. Its landscape is reddish-orange, and pictures often show an unfathomable pink sky. Mars makes us shove hard in a way the other planets don't. One might call him the bully among the planets. Mars is the ruler of sexuality and aggression. It is a lustful planet that drives us, allows us to face the difficult challenges in life, and to follow our passions no matter what stands in the way. If we did not have a Mars, we could not know how to fight. This card also means to push back in terms of defense. When Mars is strong in a chart or a reading, you may either face aggressive situations with the need to confront or defend, or an intense, rousing sexual encounter, which may or may not involve romance. Mars indicates overwhelming attractions. This is a time when you feel not only forced, but driven. It is a good time to consider goals and desires and not allow them to fall into the shadows. Right now, action is needed. It is not a good time to sit back and wait. When this card presents itself, you are being challenged to protect your interest or to move ahead quickly on something. The Mars card indicates a type of passion and a drive that is linked to the spirit and life force. In ancient British magic, this type of energy was the cunning fire that enabled men and women to act like gods and goddesses, to create and defend, to build energy, to seek and claim, to force and pursue, thus to change fate. Turning up this card infers that a fire has been lit under the passions, and it is time to achieve what you want in life. At least you are being shown a clear path. It could be romantic or sexual in nature, or it could also involve other types of relationships, but more importantly, goals that should be pursued at the current time and as vigorously as possible. It can also indicate a formidable competitor has just arrived on the scene. Other issues to do with this card include the law, the military, sport, and games, challenges of all kinds, becoming more physically active and involved, but also fiery tempers and actual fires. The question to ask now is how to take action. How do you create momentum to achieve your goals and dreams? Have you been challenged to protect your own interests? Are you being pushed too hard by something or someone? How do you clear your path to get what you want? Are you willing to battle? Has someone or a situation challenged you to a fight? The Mars card in brief: struggles, challenges, the color red, fast cars, the military, sports events, law enforcement, being forthright, pushing ahead, ambition, being number one, enthusiasm, events that roar towards you taking you unaware, excitement, noises, others having battles, other people baiting you, being bullied, confronting bullies in the family and on the job, defending the position you have earned, losing your head, accidents or other problems due to being in a rush, overheating, skin rashes, high blood pressure, hemoglobin of the blood, iron and phallus, drive, animal desires, being ardent, passionate, or lustful, sheer energy, strength, and impulsiveness. The corresponding tarot card is the Emperor, and the key ideas are battles, adversaries, competition, sports events, rushing, and defense. Okay, so we're going to look at our tarot cards here and try to focus that energy a little bit and see where we're going with it. All right, we have the Four of Wands, more fiery energy. We have the Nine of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Justice card, the Ten of Swords, the Nine of Wands, the Death card, the Moon card, and the Four of Wands again. Okay, and then we have Bear, the number 15, and Lover. Okay, wow. One of the first things that came to mind is it is very possible you're going to have to defend your family in some way, shape, or form this year. Okay? Your inner circle, the people that you commune with, and so forth. I feel like you're going to need to be strong and tough in relation to them. Now, what's really good, though, okay, even having to defend your family doesn't necessarily mean, going out and physically fighting. It doesn't necessarily mean really, really bad confrontations that way or anything like that. But you have the Bear card, which I really like because it shows a lot of strength, a lot of power, a lot of strength, a lot of being able to accomplish your goals. It is the Ten of Wands card, which is that completion energy. The Wands is the fiery energy. It is the passionate energy. It's interesting how you have a lot of ending cards throughout the spread. Cards that would show finishing things up, completion energies. You have several of those kinds of things. And then you have the Four of Wands, which I see as being a celebratory time, a time of rest, a time of, fun kind of thing after work sort of energy. So it's interesting how you have like the completion things like the Death card, like the Nine of Wands. Those are both heading towards finishing things off. The Death card is usually one thing ending, another thing starting. And that's really the energy I'm getting for your guys' reading, is that you're going to have some endings come up earlier in the year, early on, and you're going to be starting out new things, because old energies, you're going to be finishing those, and then you're going to move on to new ones. Okay? With the Ten of Swords energy, with the Death card, that's definitely showing completion of some sort, and then moving forward. Now, what I was talking about defending your family, this won't apply to all of you, so if this resonates with you, okay. If not, just leave it and let it go by the wayside. But there is an energy I got with that. The reason why I wanted to say defending your family, there was an energy that came to me for some of you, in that it is possible that you guys will be in a situation where moving or leaving where you're at, and moving to a new location, or getting away from a bad situation, will crop up. Okay? And that's a part of the ending we were talking about, and then moving forward to something new. And I do think this would be in relation to your family. It's possible that you are in a situation that's just becoming intolerable. You might have really bad neighbors, or you might have a neighborhood that's not safe to live in, or it's gotten worse over the years, or it's possible that there's other things about it that just have made it not really good to stay. And that was the energy I got from that. Now, like I said, that's not for everybody. I don't think you're all going to be packing up and moving or anything like that during the year. I just feel that energy is there. So somebody watching this reading, and I'm getting the feeling it's like 1 to 3 people. Okay, so it's very few of you. That is a situation you will need to face this year. For the rest of you, I do see still some changes and some moving on and some moving forward. And the Mars energy is that fiery, passionate energy. And I do feel like with the Wands energies you've got going on in your reading, that you will get fired up and passionate about whatever this change is in this moving forward. You do have the Lover card, so it's possible that passion will be directed at a person, at a new lover kind of person there. It is also I feel like several of you might actually get engaged this year, or get married, or have strengthening of your family bonds and ties somehow that way. I feel like that is a huge possibility during the year, and that might be the change or the moving forward or the passions that we're talking about. There is a slight energy of anxiety. I feel like the Mars energy is one that it is easy to feel anxious or nervous, or maybe even a little scared, because the Mars energy is one that's so fast and so flighty and burns so hot, and it ignites, fights and things like that. That it's easy, when that energy is around and in your life, it's easy to get anxious and excitable and nervous and worried and those kinds of things. And that is something that could be a possible problem this year for you. You might get some anxious feelings and some anxiety and things like that. So that is something to be on the lookout for and be forewarned of, and possibly try to deal with, because that could be an energy that could cause some issues during the year. It is also possible that you will be a little bit more emotional this year than normal, and that might also throw you into that state of anxiety or other things as well. So be cautious of that. Be on the lookout to see if you're a little bit more emotionally in tune than normal, or if there's other things that might be causing that. Because that's easy to back off, it's easy to work with, and so looking into that would be a really good thing to do. It is important to get balance in your life this year and build strong foundations for any new changes that you're making or any new things that you do. It is important that you take the time and effort that it takes to make sure it's balanced, to make sure it is a good, strong foundation, a good, sturdy platform. You're going to want to make sure that you take the time and energy it takes to do that. Okay? We do have the Lover card, and we did mention that was a possibility that you guys might get a new partner this year when it comes to that. So let's look at your romance cards and let's see what that has to say. Okay. Virgo. Oof. Well, all three of these popped out, so we're just going to do these. All right. Okay, this is interesting. You have the Ace of Pentacles, which often will show new beginnings. It is possible you guys will get a new love affair this year. But you also have the Strength card and the Three of Pentacles. And what I see with that is you had another card that shows Strength, the Bear card. I do believe that you guys will show a lot of strength this year. You actually can tap into your strength, but it's also possible it might be needed this year as well. So be on the lookout of you needing to be strong, you needing to show, how strong and forceful you can be and that kind of thing, because some situations might crop up this year in which that will be necessary to do so. But you do have the strength and all of that too, so that's really good. This particular Three of Pentacles also shows some strength involved. He's kind of doing, looking like he's trying to pull the rings apart by sheer strength and brute force. So I think that kind of goes along with the strength as well. Now, for those of you already in a relationship, it's interesting. This energy is just so strong this year, and I keep saying it reading after reading because I just keep running across it. But if you are in a relationship that is very stable, hasn't shown any kind of rockiness over the last couple of years, is stable, a happy one that you're happy with and so forth, the status quo should remain in that you probably will not break up. You probably won't have a problem with that. kind of energy and so forth. So that seems to be kind of the universal energy right now, that if you're in a really good relationship and one that's strong and stable, that pretty much is not going to change much during the year. That seems to be kind of the general collective energy for the year, because it's cropped up in so many of the readings so far. Now, if you are not in a stable relationship, or if there's one that's had some instability over the last couple of years, and you're together, but, maybe hanging on, not as tightly or not as strong as a different kind of relationship goes, then that relationship might stick around for the year. I see it as a learning opportunity. I see it as there might be a lot of learning going on in this situation. You might learn more about what the other person's wants and needs are. You might learn a little bit more about what makes them tick, how they work, how to make things run smoothly with them, and so forth. So I think that might be some energies that you might be dealing with this year if you are in a relationship that's not as stable as, some long-term ones and whatnot. Or if it is, even if it is a long-term one, it may not be that stable. It may feel kind of unstable to you. And if that's the case, I think this is a big learning opportunity this year. This is a chance for you to be spending some time figuring out how the relationship is, how it's working, like I said, what makes them tick, how they work, so forth. I think you're going to be spending some time and energy on that this year for those type of relationships. For those of you that are not in a relationship, it is quite possible that you will enter one this year. And I think it'll have that sense of newness a lot during the year, I believe. I think it will feel relatively new most of the year. It might even not come until towards the end of the year, and that might be why you have that energy throughout most of the year. I don't think it's going to be one that, you have from, January, February, and then you just, are in that relationship and feel that energy all the way through until December. I don't necessarily see that happening. So, if you've already gotten into a relationship, it may not, it may be kind of a flash in the pan kind of thing. It may be kind of a quick relationship. It may not become deeper. That's really hard to know right now, but I'm really feeling more of the newness energy, more of, it basically just being starting out. So if it does start out early on in the year, then it may be one that only lasts a little while and then you'll have another newer one. Or that newness energy, that just kind of getting off the ground energy will last all year. It will last, throughout most of the 2022. So that's kind of the energy I'm getting on that. So that's good that you're going to be in some relationships. I did mention earlier that there is a possibility that some of you will actually be forming family groups up this year. You might get married. You might bring together, family and friends into one umbrella, so to speak, or, incorporate your friends into your family during the year. That's a possibility as well. So that's something to be on the lookout for too. Okay. So far we have changes happening, a lot of fiery passions, a lot of things that you really care about. We have some possible defense of, especially with family and with close family. We have a possible move coming up for a couple of you to help defend your family as part of that defense. So there is that going on. There's that you have lots of strength happening during the year. There's that you are innovative and smart and intelligent. You should be able to put down some pretty good roots and foundations this year. And that you need to be warned that you might have some anxious thoughts or some other issues like that crop up. Okay? So that's kind of just the general notions we got from the reading. Let's go ahead and move on to our charms. and we'll get an idea of what else you might be facing during the year. Okay. Well, let's kind of turn some things over here. Let's see what we got heading our way. Okay, live in the moment. I always like that one because sometimes we forget to enjoy things as they happen. And this year you have so many fiery changes kind of dictating you from moment to moment this year, or from major thing to major thing, that don't forget to enjoy what's happening right now, what's going on, whatever change that happens to be, whatever happens to crop up. Don't forget to enjoy it. Make sure that you are like, wow, this is really cool. And you can think about the future and you can wonder about it, but don't dwell on it, because that's not good for anybody and it doesn't help anybody out, and it keeps you from enjoying life as you're living it. So make sure you do that. We do have the Five of Wands energy. Once again, that's a learning energy. It's also a fiery, passionate energy. So that whole thing where I feel like some of you might be learning about a partner, or kind of in that learning mode when it deals with a lover or a partner. I still feel that way. I still feel like that's a huge possibility for quite a few of you, that you will enter a relationship that you are still trying to learn about. You're still trying to figure things out about. You're kind of still in the learning mode when it comes to that. So I do feel like that is an energy for some of you guys as far as that goes. We have the go plus see and explore. I like that because you have all this fiery energy going on this year. Exploring, moving along, seeing things. That's definitely a good energy for the year. It's something, get out there, see things, explore things, see what's out there, see what's, existing. This is not a good year to be a homebody. This is not a good year to sit back and just go, huh. This is a better year to move forward and try to advance things, okay? We do have the lantern and the constellation here. Okay, and let's see if anything else goes with that. Okay, that's pretty much good together. Those two things to me are very intuition driven. They're very enlightening in that if there's something you've been wanting to know or learn or pick up on, I'm trying to think. Basically, the lantern will help lead the way, because you'll be smart and have some wisdom, and you'll be able to go forward. But also, your intuition might play a key role in that this year, in that it's a good idea to follow your intuition. It's a good idea to listen to your intuition, that kind of thing. So that's another energy this year of getting away from being reclusive a little bit and kind of moving forward, is kind of an energy you got going there as well. Now you do have the elephant and the sheep. I find that intriguing. Sheep are quite often docile. They go along, they go however they're guided, that kind of thing. Elephants are a little bit more on the intelligent side. They're going to go where they want to go for the most part. They're going to do what they want to do. They show a lot of strength. They show a lot of character. And I really like that energy for you this year because the elephant could be a really good talisman for you this year, a really good spirit animal for you for the year. They're very keen on family and friends and extended family, and that's something I do think you will be focused on some this year, for sure, is, building your family, or, giving your family that foundation we talked about. I think that's an energy you're going to be dealing with this year. So having the elephant is helpful to you for that, because it's one of the things that they are known for. They're also very good with a lot of weight and a lot of burden, and that kind of thing. And I think that might be something that might help you out as well. It's going to be relieved of some of those burdens. The sheep energy is a little bit more, like I said, kind of going with the flow, being led places and so forth. So maybe what I kind of get from that is it's time to stop being led around, and it's time to move forward on your own, following your led passions and what you'd like to do. Okay, so we have so much fiery, passionate energy for the year that it would be really, really good for you to follow that. It would be really good for you to follow your passions and things that you're fiery about. And so that's definitely some advice for the year, is to do that. So don't just be led around. Don't just go, I'm just going to go here and be done and be done with it. So make sure that you take that into account. We do have some letters. We have M, S, and U. Now I think of a university when I think of that. So we did have the learning card energies that we applied specifically to relationships. But this also might be a learning year for you as far as college. It's possible you're going to be going on to college or apply to college or taking some college credit classes this year, because I really do feel like you're in a learning mode. If you don't go to college specifically, there are certain trade schools or other specific things that you may enroll in or decide to do something with, because that learning energy is definitely one that's in your reading for the year. So think about that. That might be something of interest to you to do as well. We do have the Christmas tree, and we have the French horn, and then we also have this key here. The French horn, to me, usually musical instruments show harmony and balance, and we were striving for that this year. We did see some cards to hopefully help you along the way with that, so that's something for you to think about. The tree also is, it reminds me more of, well, let me think. Okay, it looks like a Christmas tree to me, which usually shows gifts and abundance and that kind of thing, but a lot of times the tree just means life in general and growth, and that's why we decorate trees at Christmas time, is to show that reverence for life and that growth and nature in of itself. So with your particular reading, I think it kind of symbolizes a little bit of both things, in that this is a really good year for growth. This is a good year to move on. This is a good year to pursue passionate things and things you care about. But it's also a year where some unique blessings and gifts can come your way. And I think of those when I think of Christmas trees. So it's kind of just a symbol of life itself. I really feel like this is a good year for you to celebrate life. For you to celebrate your life the way it is, your life the way it's going, your life where it's headed. All of those scenarios. I think it's just a good idea to celebrate it this year. It's a year where you can really be appreciative of what you have, and what your life entails, and celebrate that. You have 2, 4, 1s energies, and both of those are just showing kind of celebrating underneath this awning type of deal. And that's the energy I'm getting a lot for your reading, of that celebratory, just sheer happiness of, wow, things are going well, and things are, I'm happy, and I'm happy with the person I'm with, and that kind of energy. So that's really the energy that I'm getting for you guys for the year, is that whole enjoy life. Okay, so that's kind of the messages you have going there. Let's go on to your oracle spheres. This is where you think of your yes or no question that you can get an answer to. And we have 4 stands for you to choose from. We have bronze, green, gold, and blue. You decide which one you want your answer to appear on, and we'll go out and get your answers. All right, number 1, bronze, is a probable. Number 2, green, is a no. Number 3, gold, is a not sure. And number 4, blue, is a yes. So we have probable, no, not sure, and a yes. So there are your Oracle Sphere answers for your yearly reading for your question. Now let's look at your angel numbers. This works similarly in that you have 5 different stands to choose from. You have gold, blue, gray, green, and purple. And we have our angel numbers here, 1 through 55. We will be getting those. If you pick a stand for your angel number to appear on, that would be good. You can pick more than one if you want. That's no problem either. Some people like to take all 5 numbers and use them as lucky numbers for the month and so forth. So that's up to you. However you decide to utilize these, okay? There are links in the description to specific websites that will let you know what each of these numbers mean as far as angel number readings go, and that might help give you some extra guidance or insight or other things for the year that you might need as well. All right, so let's see what we've got here. Number 1, gold, is 28. Number 2, blue, is 22. Number 3, silver, is a 6. Number 4, green, is a 42. And number 5, purple, is 36. Okay, so the numbers are 28, 22, 6, 42, and 36. So those are your angel numbers for the year. All right. Thank you so much for being here for the reading. We very much appreciate it. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up and share the channel with your friends and family. It's very important to us, and that means so much when you guys do that. Do check out our other videos. We have lots of timeless tarot videos out there on the channel. We do put out a tarot reading every week, and many of them are timeless. We also put out our daily messages from Spirit, and so you can check those out as well. If you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, you can be notified of future videos when they come out. We look forward to seeing you again, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Virgo, Pile 2. Welcome to your 2022 yearly reading. All right, we have a lot we're going to do today. We have our Black Moon Astrology card, which we will be looking in the booklet for as well, because there's a lot written in the booklet here, a lot of information to springboard from and look at for the year. So we're going to do that. We also have our tarot cards to help clarify things and straighten things up a little bit on that. We have our charms that we're going to be doing so that you can get some more information about your year. We also have our romance tarot here, and we will be using that to find out a little bit more about your romantic life for the year. We will also be doing our oracle spheres. That's where you think of your yes or no question that you'd like to get an answer to. And then also our angel numbers. We're going to be doing those at the end of the reading as well, where you can get some extra messages from the angels if there's anything special they want to get out there to you for the year for you to look at, or have lucky numbers, that kind of thing. Okay. Let's see what your cards have to say. Number 23, Aquarius. I know. Okay. Aquarius is fascinating. It's an air energy. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of ideas, a lot of innovation. Let's see what the booklet has to say here. Expect to be tested and shown waves of the future. Ruled by the planet of sudden insight, Uranus, but in earlier times Saturn, the planet of wisdom. So either way, insight or wisdom. Aquarians tend to have a natural aptitude for genius. Even those that are not geniuses are able to collect facts and knowledge far beyond the scope of those of other signs. Because of their vast intelligence, it doesn't take Aquarians long to see that they are superior in intellect to most people. This gives them a certain disdain over anything they view as common or ordinary. As seers into the future, Aquarians are ahead of the game and have accurate visions of the way things will be. This is why the sign of Aquarius rules science fiction and anything brand new. In reality, Aquarians see waves of the future in a way the rest of us cannot. Aquarians can be very stubborn in their views, even when those views appear off the wall to others. They will fight long and hard just to have the freedom to stay weird, and they will fight for the rest of us to stay weird as well. Whatever is taboo or outlandish greatly appeals to them, if only in the imagination. So oftentimes they are artists, inventors, and speculative writers. As an air sign, meaning they are primarily mental and not emotional, they can be great humanitarians, but not very practical. And inside every Aquarian, no matter how attractive or glamorous, lives a geek. The type who wants to escape the mundane world and enter the realms of fantasy cons, the graphic novel, appointment games, and role-playing. At the same time, they can be rational and tend not to get caught up in emotional dramas. Aquarians are more interested in friendships over romantic relationships. In fact, Aquarians are at first a friend before being a lover, unless, of course, you insult them by disagreeing with their far-fetched ideas, and then your history. Aquarians are very attracted to people of other ethnicities and races, so if they do decide to couple with someone, it's generally a person who does not come from the same background, or sometimes even the opposite gender. Though all relationships, Aquarians will develop and grow, often as some kind of artist. Yet there is always a disconnected quality to Aquarians. They are noticeably peculiar, and in this they pride themselves. If the Aquarius card presents itself in a reading, you can be assured friends and family alliances are about to help you achieve your goals. It's possible you are to meet a group of people or become involved in organizations that will support you in unusual plans and ideas. It may be like a family group, but the emphasis will be placed primarily on the ideas of the crowd. If so, you can consider yourself the idealistic Pied Piper at the front of your group. You may find yourself dealing with persons from an exotic or dissimilar background, those of a different ethnicity or culture than yours, from which you will learn greatly. Transgender people and cross-dressing may possibly mean something in your world right now. You will acquire different concepts and approaches through those dealings, which are changing you. In the coming months, traveling as far away, exotic places is likely to factor in. Mastering a new technology and dealing with futuristic concepts will be of benefit to you. Whatever you accomplish in the near future will be based on how well you master these new ideas and approaches. Science fiction or fantasy may become subjects of an art form for you. Another meaning behind this card is the meeting up of cutting-edge people, those who challenge what you believe to be true or established, though it may not be. Many times these people will be artists. With this card choice, you're likely to be mastering something new and untried, which will lead you to a greater awareness and success. The Aquarius card in brief: the future, speculation, visions, speculative literature, science fiction, planets, stars, and outer space, outside time and other modes of communication, outside time and space, aliens, technology, computers, bionics, electricity, phones, and other modes of communication, mental expansion, flights of genius, arrogance, flightiness, bisexuality, cross-dressing, optical patterns, pewter, silver, and aluminum foil, taboo subjects, original ideas, free thinking, the unconventional, groups and association, people of a like mind who may be of a different mind the rest of society, a bohemian crowd, going against the status quo, marching to the beat of a different drummer, daring to be uncommon, appreciating the odd and unusual, and taking on a challenge. The corresponding tarot card is the Star card, and the key ideas are eccentricity, surprises, standing alone, the future, technology, outer space, and mastery. Okay, so a lot going on with Aquarius there. Let's take a look at your tarot cards and get an idea of how to interpret this. All right, we've got Temperance. We got the Ace of Wands, Six of Cups. Put that card there. We've got the Princess of Cups. That's intriguing, because on this particular card it says Prince of Cups, but it's actually a princess. And it was talking about cross-dressing or transgender and things in the card. That's intriguing. The Seven of Swords, the Hierophant, okay, the Chariot, okay, the Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Dog, and Fortune. Interesting. Okay. One of the things that came to mind, and this surely can't be for all of you, but it's an energy, so I'm going to throw it out there. I thought of love triangle, or being in a relationship with 3 people. That's definitely unconventional. That's definitely something different you might having to be dealing with. And I don't even mean that you would want to be in a love triangle. It's very possible that you may end up being in one during the year and not intend to, or not realize that you're in it, because the others could be keeping things secret. So that is a possibility too. It's just for some reason that popped into my head, and so I'm gonna let you guys do with what you want with that. But for some reason that popped into my mind. It's interesting too how you have the Chariot card and how it's not normal for the Chariot cards. It's in the Modern Witch deck, and it's actually showing a motorcycle as the Chariot. So alternate forms of doing things, alternate ways of getting things done. That's intriguing because that is definitely an Aquarian thought and energy. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay, so those were just a couple of things that kind of just struck me early on there. And then there's the dog card. Dogs are very much about friendship, loyalty, kindness, trust, partnerships, those kinds of things. And that is interesting because one of the words that you think of when you think of Aquarians, one of the first words you think of is friend, or friendship, or a group of friends, or having friends. And so I think your friends and your friendship group, your people that you share with, will be very important to you this year. Okay? Keep that in mind, because sometimes I have trouble getting some thoughts out, and I'm having a little problem here. Basically, one of the things that's coming through very strongly for your reading is that friends and your friendship groups and people that you rely on, your partners, your people that you're close to that way that you call friends, are going to be important to you this year in all your endeavors, in the things that you're going to be doing, and in helping you stay on an even keel. And pretty much everything that happens to you this year will involve your friends, or your friends will help you get there, or something like that. Okay, I'm really getting friends as being an important thing in your life this year. Also, the other thing about the dog card and the loyalty is that you notice how when I was talking about the Aquarius card and how it was important to have loyal friends, and that is going to be something extremely important to you this year, that you do have loyalty with your friends, because if there is any hint of disloyalty or dishonesty or other issues like that, like for the few of you that maybe the love triangle might pop up, you definitely, I think, would drop those friendships. I do think that even very close relationships of yours, even ones you've had for quite a while, I feel like the energy you would have this year would be to drop them if you felt like they were disloyal to you, or that you couldn't count on them for some reason. But for the most part, I feel like you will be able to count on your friends this year. I do think they're going to be very beneficial to you. I think they're going to be able to help you out quite a bit. I think you might even strengthen some bonds. I even think some new friendships might be ones coming about this year. I think you're going to have a strong energy to want to get rid of the old established ways of thinking and doing things and come up with new stuff. I think you're going to be innovative this year. I think you're going to want things to go in a different direction than the way they already have been. I think you're going to think of new innovative ideas to implement and to start and that kind of thing. One of the things to be a little bit warned of this year is not letting yourself get out of balance. Okay? I think you're going to be I feel like you're going to reject the old ways and the way old timers think and the old establishment and all of that. I think you're going to reject that so much this year that you might actually throw yourself out of balance for the year, because what will happen is not everything that's old is bad, and not everything that is old in establishment, it's not always a bad thing to follow that, at least to a certain degree, and then you can add new finishing touches onto it, or build more from it. But a lot of times what has been about in the past is a good foundation to start with. And by throwing it all out entirely and just looking to newness and just looking to different things and that kind of thing, sometimes things can kind of collapse on you, or you can kind of get out of whack a little bit. And so I just want to warn you about that don't reject the old so much that your life gets out of balance, because all you are accepting is new ideas and new thoughts and new things. Because it's not always a bad idea to look to old masters for some insight or some information or some guidance, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. I do like that you got the fortune card this year, because that does show some good fortunate abundance things coming to you this year. You do have the Six of Cups energy. You have the Nine of Cups. Those are all really good energies for that, and for things being filled up and all that. We will be looking at our charms too to see if there's anything else there along those lines, to see where that might be coming from. Because, I mean, it looks like things will go well for you this year, but there's not any real indicators other than the fortune card as to maybe how you might, get that fortune, or how it might come about, or some of the other things there. So we're going to see if we can get some more clarity with the charms here on that in a few minutes, because I don't know if this is through friendship or love relationships or work things you're doing, or other things like that. There is a possibility with the Aquarian energy that you will come up with a new idea or a new way of doing things or something like that that could literally change things up in your life, could bring you a little bit of fame and fortune, a little bit of financial gain, especially on something like that. So that is a possibility, that if you are thinking of new ideas or innovations, that could happen. Okay? Look for there to be kind of a static electricity type of energy throughout the year, where things are kind of crackling, they're kind of moving, you can kind of feel it in the air. The reason why I say that is because Aquarians, first of all, are the air energy. They're also dealing with electricity. But I get this whole feeling of this year is going to feel sort of sparky, sort of, where you've got that electricity energy flowing. You've got, if you've ever been around where there's a lot of static electricity, or where there's some energy buildup from a storm or other things in the atmosphere, you know what I'm talking about, in that things can feel very electrifying and kind of exciting, even from that point of view, even though it's not, you're not going to get electrocuted or anything. But that electrical energy is going to surround you this year. It's going to, you're going to feel like you've been charged up. Okay? If that's a good metaphor or a good way to put that. Let's move on to your romance cards, and let's see if we can find anything specific about your romantic life, and see how that's going to look this year. All right, let's take a look here. I do have some youthful energy going on in your reading. Some children might play an important role in your life this year when it comes to that kind of thing. It's interesting, though, because I think of things as being new and exciting when I think of Aquarians. I think of things moving forward. You know, children are kind of that moving forward energy. So I do think some children might play an important role in your life this year. But I see children's role in your life to be more like friendships. Because we were talking about how important friendships were to you this year and how they can really help you along. And so that's something I'm thinking of as well. All right, the cards we have here are the King of Swords, the Three of Cups, okay, and the Knight of Pentacles. All right, very interesting. That three way or energy of a love triangle is showing up kind of strong again. Or if it's not a love triangle, you might have many offers of love this year. Many people that will offer up their love to you, and you might not really be in the mode to really start a relationship this year. This may not be something that's a top priority for you, and so you may just kind of play the field a little bit. You may not settle down with one of those people that are offering themselves, or you might just take one at a time and just kind of go from there. But I'm not really seeing getting into any really close, deep relationships, deep romantic ones anyway. Maybe some deep friendships though. So that is something, and it's even possible you remain friends with anybody that you might leave during the year, or you might have a relationship for a part of the year and then leave them and all. You'll probably still remain friends. So that's one energy going on. And that is mostly for those of you that don't have a relationship that you're in already. That's the kind of energy I'm seeing for you getting into new ones. I don't think the conditions are extraordinarily favorable for a long-lasting relationship to start up this year, or a really deep emotional one. But maybe one, like I said, that there's a good, loving, caring one. I do see that, maybe. But not necessarily a long-lasting, deep relationship, okay? Just one that you care about each other and so forth. Now, there's liable to be something unusual about any relationships you're in this year. They're liable to be slightly different, or not the way most people think of relationships, because the Aquarian nature is that innovative nature, that newness, that going forward. And so I do see that might be something as well. Now, anybody that's in a relationship already, a long-term relationship or whatever, it's possible. I really don't see it a lot, though, but it is possible that a couple of you might break up this year, or that relationship will just kind of remain the status quo. There won't really be any major changes with it. If you are in a relatively new relationship, like I said, I don't think that's going to grow into anything super deep and long-lasting and loving, but I do see a close tie and friendship involved with it. It is interesting where you have the King of Swords, because to me the King of Swords is kind of the cold king. He's kind of the, he's not very warm. You don't think of love when you think of him. You think more of, okay, I got this duty, that duty, this, I'm going to do this and that, and so forth. And when I see him here in your love reading, I feel like there might be some iciness in your relationships this year. There might be some coldness, some not deep passion, not deep down, love kind of things going on. Now, of course, if you're already in a really good, long-lasting relationship, even though that may not be a super loving-dovey one, there's no reason why, there would not be a chance for it to last or anything. Even if it's not that great emotional one, it can still be long-lived and so forth. So there's no reason why that would not be the case. But just letting you know there. But I don't see any deep romantic relationships this year. I think it's more of taking some steps that might forge a better one in the future, but not right now. Maybe I just don't see that as really happening. And like I said, some unusualness in some relationships I think are a possibility. I think you waiting for love to come along during this year might be a possibility. I think if you did get in a relationship, it's possible they'll be absent from the relationship for a while, like maybe have to go off and travel or do other things. So that's another possibility that might distance you a little bit this year, as we've already talked about. All right, let's move on to our charms. Let's see what else we might be able to get here. Okay. All right. There could be a message coming to you this year. Could be important. What I see with that, as far as messages go, is it might come through email or through other electronics or some other thing like that. It's not going to be like through the traditional mail or post or things like that. It's going to be a little bit more innovative, a little bit more different, a little bit wave of the future kind of thing. So it's going to be a little different there, but a letter could be pretty important to you this year. It could help change things up and how things are going to go this year. I do think you are going to have some fiery thoughts and passion, some new thoughts, because Aquarians, are thinking quite a bit, and we did have the Ace of Wands. We also have the Dragon energy, which is another fire energy. So I think one of the things that you can possibly look forward to for the year, or that you can think might play into your year, are innovative thoughts and ideas, and looking at things from a different angle, futuristic angle especially, is a possibility this year. I really feel like you're going to be looking at future possibilities a lot this year, if that makes any sense. I think you're going to look to the future quite a bit, which is interesting because you have the Six of Cups energy over here, and that often deals with thinking of the past, or dwelling on the past. And I think maybe how the two connect, or how I kind of see them going, is I think you might look to your past and how things have been done. And I did say you were going to look at things of, the status quo, how things had happened in the past and so forth. And I think you will kind of analyze those, and maybe you will do your best to go, well, this way's better. This is a way that the situation would be, dealt with in a better way. This is something, new and to go off of. And I think what you might end up doing is looking to the past and improving it. Okay? improving it for the now and for the future. I think you might come up with some really good ideas to do that. We do have the pouncing kitty here, so this is a really good year to pounce on opportunities. It's a good year to pounce on those ideas and those thoughts and those things that are coming to you. So make sure that you do that. We do have the word beautiful, so I think you might create a beautiful environment for you to live in this year. The reason why I say that is Aquarians very much want newness and innovation and technology and, you know, all of those things. And I think those things are going to appeal to you this year, but I think you're going to be able to organize them in such a way, like your environment, like where you live, like your home. I think you're going to do your best to beautify your home. I think you're going to maybe rearrange the furniture, decide on some things to get rid of, decide on things to utilize. And I think what came to me on this as well is unique ways of dealing with things, like, for instance, taking things that people are throwing away and turning them into something beautiful and wonderful and unique and different. That's kind of the wave of the future. You know, utilizing things that people don't want anymore from the past and turning them into something new and different. And that was kind of the energy I got for you guys as well, is that, you know, utilize your thoughts on how to improve things. Because I think that this is a big year for you to improve your environment, for you to improve your living situation, for you to improve a lot of what's happening in your life. Okay? We do have the rooster here. I think of the rooster as being very sure of himself, very, you know, strutting around. Hey, I got this. I'm going to do this really, really well. And I think that that's an energy that you guys could tap into this year. Of, you know, hey, I got what's going on. I got it. You know, I can do it. And you can utilize Henry's. I call him Henry because a friend of mine has a rooster named Henry. You can utilize Henry's symbol of, you know, being in charge and being the rooster and being out there. You know, take that energy and utilize it this year. You know, definitely do that. We do have a couple of cards here. We have the Ten of Wands and we have the Six of Spades. The Six of Spades is a good energy in that it's a moving forward energy. It's getting past the problems and trials and tribulations of the Five. And I do see you moving forward a lot this year. The Aquarian energy is very much the energy of moving forward. It is very much the energy of, you know, not dwelling on the past. So this is definitely an energy that you're going to do that with. Okay? The year you're going to have that kind of energies. You also have the Ten of Wands, which is the completion of some tasks. It's the releasing of some burdens. It's also kind of the releasing of old ways of doing things. And then being able to start up anew with, you know, something new and different. So I think you're going to want to chuck some old this year and then come up with new. I think that's going to be kind of the focus of the year, is getting rid of the old and taking in the new. Okay, so that's kind of the general energy there. Let's look at your oracle spheres. This is where you think of a yes or no question that you'd like to get an answer to. We have 4 stands. We have bronze, green, gold, and blue. You decide which stand you'd like to get your answers on, and we'll go out and we'll get those answers. Number 1 is a not sure. That's the bronze. Number 2, green, is a not likely. Number 3, gold, is a not sure. And number 4, blue, is a not now. Okay, so we have a not sure, a not likely, a not sure, and a not now. Okay, so there are your oracle sphere answers. Let's look at our angel numbers. These are similar in that there's 5 stands to choose from. There's gold, silver, blue, purple, and green. We have our angel numbers here, are 1 through 55. You pick a stand that you would like to have your angel numbers on, and we go out and we'll get our numbers. In the description, there is a link to a couple of different websites that can explain what different angel numbers mean and the meaning behind them, so you can get if there's any specific messages any of the angels want to impart to you or let you know about for the year, so you can do that as well. But we will be picking these numbers. Some people like to do all 5 as lucky numbers for the year, so you can be thinking about doing that. You can pick more than one stand if you feel compelled to do so. So just however you guys want to work it, you got it. All right, so let's see what our answers are. Number 1 gold is a 4. Number 2 0 is a 42. Number 3 blue is a 14. Well, that's a 4 energies. Number 4 purple is a 43. And a 53. Okay, so we have 4, 42, 14, 43, and 53. There are your angel numbers for the year. Thank you so much for being with us. Please remember to hit the like button and to share the channel with your friends and family. That's very important. But also check out our other videos. I tried to say all 3 things at once and it just didn't come out. Do check out our other videos. We have lots of timeless tarot already on the channel. We also put out videos every week, and many of those are timeless. We also do our daily messages from Spirit that we put out every day, so give those a chance as well. We do look forward to seeing you again in other videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Virgo Pile 3. Welcome to your 2022 reading. Those of you that chose the Virgo constellation. All right, we have a lot to look at today. We have our Black Moon Astrology card. We will be looking in the booklet for that because there's a lot of information in here that should help us get the reading off to a good start. We also have our tarot cards and our Lunar Man cards we're going to look at for more clarification. We have our Romance Tarot that we're going to look at to see a little bit more about your love life for the year. We have our Charms also for a little bit more information about your year. We have our Oracle Spheres where you can be thinking of a yes or no question that you can get an answer to. And we have our angel numbers where you can get lucky numbers for the year. You can get specific messages from the angels of things for you to pay attention to for the year and that kind of thing. So let's get started here. Let's see where we're at. All right. Jupiter return benefits. Ooh, exciting. Okay. And that's number 49. So that might be an important number already. But let's take a look at what the booklet has to say. A Jupiter return occurs every 12 years. This marks the time the largest and most expansive of planets returns to the original place of when you were born. Turning up the Jupiter return card indicates a period when doors are open to you and obstacles are lifted. You are given the freedom to advance your goals with absolute abandon. It suggests you will soon be entering a time where you encounter less resistance and life should flow much easier. The Jupiter return card is the green light that gives you the go-ahead. All paths are now clearing and you are to take the utmost advantage of this. Goals or plans you started more than a decade ago will begin to bear fruit, either right now or at least very soon. Something very good is about to emerge from the debris of the past. It could be a thing you felt, you lost, or something that did not work out exactly as you hoped. It may even be a plan you have forgotten about that once again comes into your life to make some remarkable changes and advances. In short, the Jupiter return card implies good fortune and prosperity in many areas, not just financial and material. Dreams manifest into reality at this time, gifts flow in easily. It is also a time to be aware of how you approach matters of your own spirituality, faith, and destiny. There is a rapidness to Jupiter, so it's important to grab hold of anything that surfaces. So don't let go. Investigate the possibilities this might bring. It is not a good time to get carried away, though. It is always important with Jupiter to keep a clear head. Jupiter, named from the Roman god, or Jove, as he is also named, is a jovial planet, open-hearted, optimistic, and flirtatious. The god Jove brings a multitude of blessings, while the planet Jupiter is the Santa Claus of the planets. The Jupiter return is like Christmas Eve. This card marks a stage when you are to receive opportunities and then rewards. This is the time many areas of your life begin to bear fruit. The only negative to this card is that it's not a good time to indulge or to become reckless with anything. It can indicate too much of a good thing or being overly confident things will work out on their own. But like the Saturn return, only hard work with perseverance will bring the payoffs. It is time to take a broader reach and to show gratitude. See the possibilities. Trust in your fortune and give thanks to the gods. Making light of a situation and realizing it's not as bad as it seems is the best approach. In fact, something will be rescued from the darkness. New experiences trigger a desire for travel and inner development. Communications with angels and higher spirits are more possible now. Higher education calls to you. Publishing your ideas or bringing them before the public are a probability. Relax, let go of control, and allow things to unfold. Be wise and pay attention. Don't take your eyes off the prize. You're in a kingly or queenly place right now. Bigger goals and plans now rule your life. It is time to put laziness aside and buckle down for some dramatic changes. Mostly positive. Great fortune is ahead of you, so don't back away from it and proceed from the dream in an outward way. Love and romance takes on a sweetness, a sense of freedom where you can be you, who you are, with the addition of acceptance and generosity. You may attract many potential lovers at this time, so choose wisely, or the relationship could be very short-lived. And also be careful of indulging in too much to eat or drink. So in short, love others with grace and patience. Know that generosity is its own reward. Keep the expansive energy of Jupiter flowing, but with discernment. And in answer to your question, yes, but only if you are wise in your choices. Jupiter return card in brief. Positivity, openness, seizing the moment, rising to the call, preparation for great opportunities, being a success, grand achievements, significant improvements in money matters, new love or revitalization of old romances or relationships, signposts to the future and all the possibilities it may bring, release, freedom, happiness, buoyancy, excess, sugary foods, weight gain, rescue from suffering, the ace up your sleeve, happier times, alignment with the soul's calling, drawing the finances you need as well as the wisdom to know what to do with it, a check in the mail, and debts repaid. The corresponding tarot card is the Chariot, and the key ideas are earned luck, fortune, rewards, profits, an auspicious year, the future, and aspiration. Okay, so that's very exciting. This actually showed up in another reading that we've already done as well, so that's intriguing. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards here to see where this might focus or what might be specific. Okay, well, we do have the Tower card, and we have the High Priestess, okay, and the Karma card. We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Three of Swords. Okay. The King of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups. Yep. The Queen of Cups. Yes. Okay. And the Knight of Wands. Okay. And then we also have the 14 Fox and the Unexpected Joy. Wow. Okay. Whew, lots of energies going on here. First of all, with the Tower card, it is quite likely you guys are going to have a change up this year. Something might happen to kind of, usually it's a sudden change. Usually the Tower, it's a sudden change, or at least old ideas come crumbling down, maybe. Old notions, things the way they have been done, maybe changing. I kind of see that with you guys reading a little bit. This is interesting too. The Fox card in general usually means a lot of negative connotations a lot of times, where you have duplicity or dishonesty or fraudulent contracts and dishonest competitors and all that kind of stuff. But when I see the Fox card, and with your reading especially, I see cunning and being smart and being able to achieve your goals, getting where you want to through intelligence and through cunning. So I do think you have a very good opportunity for things to be, your intelligence to really help you out a lot this year. The other thing too is it's the Nine of Wands energy. And the Nine of Wands to me shows great innovation. It shows, one of the cards that I think of almost all the time when I see this is somebody coming up with a scarecrow out in the middle of their field. And that energy is showing an innovative idea to solve a problem, to keep the crows out of the field. And scarecrows to me are innovative ideas of how to do that. I mean, they're old ideas now, but it was an innovative idea at one time. And that's the kind of energy I think of when I think of the Nine of Wands. And the Fox card is the Nine of Wands energy as well. So I think of that innovation of being able to solve problems with bright ideas and with new ideas. You do have the Karma card and the High Priestess card. That is intriguing because Jupiter is the planet that deals a lot with I'm trying to think of spirituality and those types of things and how you feel about your spirituality. And I do think that that might be something that you guys might delve into this year, that it might be kind of an important, take on an important role for you this year, that you might delve into it and pay attention to it a little bit more. So I do see that as being a possibility. With the Tower card, like I said, that's usually a very quick, sudden change. Not necessarily a bad one, and I don't think it would be for you this year, but it may not be that quick, sudden change. It might be more of, or if it is that quick, sudden change, it's because maybe your unexpected joy will fall into your lap, and that will change your life up for the better, or that kind of thing. So if it is that quick, unexpected change, it's going to be for the good. It's going to be for something, it will change your life in a way that will make things come out quite a bit better. Financially, I see things as going pretty well this year. I think work will be easier for you. You do have the Eight of Wands energy. The eights denote work for me when I see them. With the wands, that it means that you might have a renewed energy in your work. You also, I feel like it might flow a little easier for you this year. Like ideas might come to you easier. Messages, other things in your workplace just might work better this year than maybe they have. I don't see as many glitches happening. I don't know if you'll actually change careers this year. If that is something you've been thinking about doing and wanting to do, it's quite possible you will get a new offer or a new opportunity that you can grasp a hold of and take a hold of, and do that if that is something that resonates with you. But it's also possible that things will just be going along pretty well in your career that you already have and that you're already doing, and things will flow well with that this year. I do see new ideas possibly coming your way when it comes to making money, so that might help you out during the year as well. You do have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups. That's very exciting because the Knights bring us new innovatives and joys and spoils of war and those kinds of things. And having the Wands card and the Cups card, that means that new ideas can be flowing to you, but as well as new found happiness. The Queen of Cups kind of shows that as well. So emotionally, your year should be very good. It may not be related to any kind of emotional romance. We will look at your romance cards here in a moment. But emotionally, your year should be a decent one. If things are flowing well in work, or if you get a job or start working at a job that you really like and care about, if you start earning more money or have unexpected money come your way and flowing your way, that might emotionally help you out as well. We do have the Three of Swords energy, and I see that as very much a healing energy. I see it with that meaning of this is a time to heal from any kind of past hurts and problems and other things, and you should do quite a bit better with those things this year now, because that healing has had an opportunity to take place. You've grown wiser and smarter from that, and you should be able to implement better ideas and plans based on that. Okay, so far your year looks like it's going to be a pretty good one. A lot of good things possibly coming your way. It is a really good idea to heed the warning about not too much to eat or drink, however. Too much of anything, I don't care what it is, you can name off anything in the world that normally you would consider a good thing. And if you get too much of it, or if you have too much, it's bad. I'll give you a quick example of that. My mother-in-law years ago used to drink a lot of water, and she literally ended herself up in the hospital by drinking too much water. She flushed out too much of her electrolytes in her system, and it made her very seriously ill. And at the time, we were like, we didn't know it was possible to drink too much water. And normally you wouldn't think it would be, but it is possible. So too much of anything, even a good thing, is not good. So keep that in mind, okay? Don't overindulge in anything this year, no matter what it is, because Jupiter does lend itself to overindulgence. And if that's the energy that's going on in your life this year, it might be easy for you to accidentally take in too much, and that could be harmful, so you don't want that to happen. Why don't we take a look at your romance cards and see what might be going on in your romantic life for the year? Okay, so let's take a look. What we've got on that. Okay, I do not do reverse cards, so we will turn these up. All right, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Magician, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, very, very exciting what we've got going on here. The Magician card is a very magical card. It's new manifestations, new energies. If you are not already in a happy, stable relationship, the chances of you having a relationship coming to you this year is a very high one. Okay, and if that's something that you want to have in your life, you could definitely attract that to you. As a matter of fact, you have 3 knights here. A lot of times we think of knights as almost being the Prince Charming sorts of type of knights a lot of times. And so it's very possible you will attract a lot of attention in the romance department this year. Okay, so that is something for you to think about if you are not in a relationship. If you are in a relationship, and it's a good, strong, steady one, it's a stable one, you haven't noticed any problems with it, and you've been in it for quite a while, the energy for that seems to be quite a happy one. It could even be a profitable one for you this year. It's very possible that your partner will help you out financially, or be able to do something for you that will help out your finances through your partner this year. So that is a possibility that you have going. You have the King and Queen of Pentacles in your reading, which is really great because it's a good pairing. And that just shows the strong stableness of that relationship. Now, if you're in a relationship that you've been in for a while, but it's not as stable, I'm not sure exactly what might go on with that relationship this year. I don't see anything specifically on that type of relationship for your particular reading. You might decide to dump them just because it's not going that well. Or you might just move on to a new relationship. That's possible. Or maybe it'll just keep going on throughout the year, and maybe it'll improve and get better. That's a possibility as well. So honestly, I'm not exactly sure what might happen with the ones that are a little bit more rocky, but you've been in for a while. I don't really have a specific energy on that one. Maybe not a lot of you are in those type of relationships. I don't know, but I'm not getting a lot of feeling on that. So we'll see how that goes. Why don't we go on to our charms and see what else we might find out for the year? Okay. See the world. Okay, this might be a really good time to do some traveling and excitement. And honestly, if you have some exciting news or some other happy abundance things come your way, you might want to travel or might need to travel in relation to that. So that's something for you to think of there. You do have the grapes. That just shows the abundance. That shows the good fortuitous things coming your way and that kind of thing that's going to happen. You do have another fox. That's intriguing. I will give you guys a warning since you did get two of them. The fox obviously is going to be important. In the Laramie deck, like I talked about, it talked about the foxes as possibly being quite often a negative sort. Let me see. Let me actually go there. I'm going to actually go there and do that. Let me find. There's at least some keywords associated. Let's look at the keywords. Okay, we do have resourcefulness, which I talked about earlier, and I really feel like that might be, you might be quite resourceful this year, or resourceful things, but it's also manipulation, duplicity, flattery, and temptation. So maybe it's the temptation that will come through, or maybe there is somebody who is a liar or a manipulator or somebody like that, or there is somebody dishonest in your life or somebody you need to be on the lookout for. That is a possibility for some of you, especially since foxes showed up twice. But like I said, I really saw it with the card that I saw as resourcefulness. So maybe it's just hinting at that there'll be a lot of resourceful energies this year, and you can be quite resourceful in what you do this year, okay? We do have a few letters here. We have RKO and an A. Now, when I saw that, I thought of RKO Pictures. Actually, in old movies and things I like to watch. So that might play something in your year. Filmmaking or working with film or doing something with film might actually be something that is a possibility for you this year. So that's something for you to think about going on there. But these letters could just mean anything you would like for them. I also see KOA, which is a campground and a campsite. So that could go along with the traveling. Traveling could play an important part in your year this year. Going some different places, doing some different things. It's very possible you will be doing that. We do have the stay curious and shine like the stars. And I do think you guys will shine this year quite a bit. And staying curious is really good energy, because that will help you along with all these other energies during the year as well. Because that'll just stimulate your mind. It'll stimulate the thoughts, the cunningness, and the other things that we talked about earlier. You do have the circle love, so I think that just goes to show how strong the love bonds are between you and your loved ones and the people that you're close to that way. We do have the turtle. Normally when you think of turtles, you think of moving slow, and that's not the energy your reading has. So what I think about when I think of turtles for your particular reading is not so much moving slow, but that staying steady. Like, I think of slow and steady when I think of turtles, because they keep going. They go, but they get there. And I feel like that energy in your reading is more of a stay steady, stay true, stay on course, because you all are familiar with the turtle and the hare story. The hare thinks, well, I'm going to win because I'm faster than turtles, that I can get there in no time and it'll be great. And the turtle's like, well, I'm slow, but I'll keep plugging along. And actually the turtle ends up winning because the hare makes a lot of mistakes, gets overconfident, decides to do whatever he wants, figures he has plenty of time. And because he didn't stay on course, because he didn't stay steady, he did not win, but the turtle did. And so that was just kind of what I thought of when I thought of your guys' reading. Was it'd be a good idea to stay steady this year. You do have the butterfly though, which is a wonderful transformational energy. It's also a wonderful freedom energy. I think you guys have a lot of karma coming your way, a lot of things that have been owed to you, things that have been due to you. And Jupiter tends to bring us things like that. It's interesting, if you know anything about Vedic astrology, which a lot of people don't, but it's very fascinating. And one of the things that they go on is things that go on certain cycles. Different periods of your life, different things happen. And you go through different periods, and you go through a Jupiter period and a Mercury period and a Saturn period and all these other different periods. And during the Jupiter period, usually things expand in your life. Usually you don't always get all the good things in your life, because sometimes, Jupiter can expand the other way as well. But he's a great benefic, and you get a lot of really good things. And when I was in my Jupiter cycles, that's when my marriage came along. That's when my children came along, because it's a very long cycle. The Jupiter cycle is like 18 years. It's a very long one. And, that's when all the really good things happen in my life. And the Jupiter cycle doesn't happen at the same time for every person. It happened to happen in my life, during that period in which all those wonderful things came to me. I graduated from college. All of those things happened during my Jupiter time period. And so that is a wonderful freedom, a wonderful, but that was karmic. That was the kind of things that come to you because they're cyclic, and they're meant to be part of your life. They're meant to be things that you're supposed to have and things like that. So I see a lot of that happening for your year this year, the things coming to you. There isn't just one big Jupiter cycle, as I was talking about. There's actually Jupiter subcycles in the other cycles, just like there's, so there's different combinations. So Jupiter shows up more than just once in your life and doing things. And right now, this is a year that I think more things that you've been looking at, or that you've been needing to get, are coming your way. Okay. You do have the 3 of Diamonds, which I really love. That's a creative energy. I do think you guys might have some creative talents going on here. We did talk about the motion picture some. Some writing might be something for you to think about doing, especially if you want to publish a book or have one out there. This might be a good year for that to happen. And you might actually get, some notice and some other things from that this year. We do have the 8 of Spades and the 9 of Wands. Now, the 8 of Spades energy, in this case, I see as freedom. I think that goes along with your butterfly. I think you're going to feel a lot more free this year, a lot more like you've been able to get past some obstacles, like you've been able to face your fears, you've been able to patch up from any prior hurts and things like that. That's the energy you're going to start having for this year a lot, is that, you're moving forward. You're getting out of any of that kind of stuff. You're more free. You're more able to move forward this year. And that's, really what I see for there. The 9 of Wands energy, you had earlier as well in the reading. To me, that's, once again, that fiery passion. Things are going to, I think you're going to feel passionate about some things again, and feel like you want to pursue them. And, some things are going to happen and come into your life to make you feel more bubbly and happy and cheerful that way, and be able to, implement those things. We also have the Winged Moon. This is kind of an emotional energy. Sometimes I think of passed on loved ones or other people looking down on us. People that we care about, maybe a mother figure, because the moon represents mother, that kind of thing. With the Winged Moon, I often think of our spirit team and other, passed on loved ones and other people shining their light upon us, them thinking about us, them being there with us, and saying, I see you, I love you. So that's a message for some of you guys, especially if you've been thinking about somebody lately that has passed on, and you've been, they've been in your thoughts a lot lately. That is a message specifically from them. Okay, so just to let you know that. Okay, let's move on to our Oracle spheres. This is where you think of a yes or no question that you would like an answer to. We have 4 stands. We have bronze, gold, green, and blue. You pick which stand you would like to get your answer on. And then we will go through and we get our answers, okay? Remember, the question needs to be one that has a yes or no type of answer involved with it. If it's another type of answer, we won't be able to get an answer that will be satisfactory. So make sure that it's phrased in such a way that a yes or no can answer it, okay? All right, number 1, bronze, is a yes. Number 2, gold, is a very likely. Exciting. And number 3, green's a maybe. And number 4, last one, is a maybe. All right, so we've got a yes, a very likely, a maybe, and a maybe. All right, let's move on to our angel numbers. All right, these work very similar in that we have 5 stands. We have green, and we have silver, and we have purple, and we have blue and gold today. So what I like for you to do is pick at least one stand that you would like to get an angel number on. You can pick more than one if you feel the need to do so. That's fine. But pick at least one, and we go out and we have angel numbers 1 through 55. We will get them on your stands, and then you take your numbers and you can go out to the web and find out what those specific numbers mean. We do have links in the description to a couple of different websites that can help you out with that. But you can find out specifically what they mean in case the angels are wanting to impart a specific message to you, or something they would like for you to pay attention to during the year, or something like that. And then some people like to take all 5 and use them as lucky numbers for the year. Some people like to take some of the numbers and use them as important dates during the year, or important months, or other things, or to help guide them that way. So basically, however you would like to do it will work. All right, so let's get number 1, green, is a 47. Number 2, silver, is a 41. Number 3, purple, is a 44. Lots of 4s. 43 for blue. Wow, there's been a 4 in every number. And then a 2, which actually doubles to a 4. So there you go. Okay, so we have 47, 41, 44, 43, and 2. So there are your angel numbers for the year. Thank you so much for being here for the reading. We very much appreciate it. Please remember to give us a thumbs up. Share the channel with your friends and family. It's super important. Also, do check out the other videos that correspond to your sun, moon, and or rising signs. That will help give you a better gestalt of your year. So make sure you do that. Also, do check out our other videos. We have lots of timeless tarot videos on the channel. We do our tarot readings every week, and many of them are timeless. So do check those out. Also, we do our daily messages from Spirit, so this might be something for you to look into on a daily basis as well. All right, guys, we look forward to seeing you again in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.